And what's up? This is That's Law, the podcast. I am one of your hosts, Will, the Underdog Richardson.
And I am your girl, April, a.k.a. Mother Goose.
The goose is back.
Yes, indeed. And it's your girl, LaTanya, the lovely LaTanya.
All right.
I'm excited about the show tonight.
Man, me too. Me too. We got a lot of information to cover in a short period of time.
But we're going to do it.
We're going to do it, right?
That's it.
All right. So, as promised, there are a lot of things going on in the city of Memphis right now, and one of those key topics is the next level of leadership that will represent our beloved city of Memphis. And so we have city council, we have a mayoral race right now. Am I leaving anything out? I think those are the two top ones. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So as promised, we will continue to allow those candidates who want to come onto the show and to talk about their candidacy and to convince the viewers and listeners for their support, solicit their support. So today we have a special guest in the building, and she is no stranger to the community and the hard work that she has done over the years in the Whitehaven area particularly. I've seen her do the Whitehaven Food Expo, where she just like encouraged everybody to come out and kind of support the businesses of Whitehaven. And Whitehaven is taking off.
Yes. I was going to say, shout out to the Haven.
I know, right?
I'm just like, shout out to the Haven.
Yes.
I love Whitehaven.
Yes.
Yeah, they're doing some big things.
Yes, I'm loving everything.
They kind of setting the tone on what the city should look like.
Amen,
so
exactly.
We'll talk about that in a few minutes, but I don't want to do any more intro because this woman speaks for herself as it relates to the things that she's doing in the community. So let's give it up for Miss Pearl Walker.
Yes, Pearl.
Hey.
What's up, Pearl?
Hey, how y'all doing? And thank you so much for having me. This is wonderful.
Absolutely. So tell us, for those people who have been up under a rock, who is Pearl Walker?
In one sentence, I'm an old-fashioned girl with modern-day virtues. Okay. And so I'll expound on that. A lot of people do know me as the cheerleader, the self-proclaimed cheerleader for Whitehaven. I'm the founder and executive director of the I Love Whitehaven Neighborhood and Business Association. We are a 501c3. Our focus is supporting neighborhoods by supporting small businesses. We feel that the small businesses, not only are they the heartbeat of the country, but they are the heartbeat of our small areas, our communities as well. And as you mentioned about things going on in Whitehaven, I remember a few years ago when I would say, y'all need to come get this money. And now people are coming to get the money.
All right.
And it's not just people who look like us. They're also from out of Memphis. We're growing. The businesses are growing. We still have some things that we do want that we don't have. We want to have more corporate brands. The corporate brands are coming. We have a Smoothie King coming up on Elvis Presley across from the first Memphis Plaza. They're building a whole strip with 4 bays. They will occupy one, and then the other 3 will be rented out to someone. Miss Guthrie's Chicken will be on the parking lot of Southland Mall next to where the Sears is going to be, behind the new Starbucks that will be opening soon.
Okay.
But
Go ahead, Whitehaven.
You know what?
When the Starbucks come to town.
I was waiting for the Starbucks. They said Starbucks. Yeah, you're like, yeah.
When the Chick-fil-A hit, it's over.
And there used to be a Chick-fil-A in Whitehaven, in Southland Mall back in the day. One thing that we're still wanting, we're wanting restaurants where you can sit down, order from a menu, have the food brought to your table.
That's
right.
So we don't have too much of that.
Okay.
You can, and there are places where you can order from a menu, but you have to order at the counter, go take a seat, go back to the counter and get it. It may be brought to your seat, but we want that whole 360 experience.
That's right.
Ordering from the table, having the food brought to the table as well.
All right. So you just heard it right there. If you are an entrepreneur
All right.
and you're looking to open a restaurant, they're looking for a specific type of restaurant, one that will make good food, great customer service, and will bring the food to the table. If that's you, give Pearl Walker a call.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you got a bunch of office spaces and restaurant space in Whitehaven
Office
still?
spaces. Southern Hands just opened a location 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
2 weeks ago tomorrow on Mill Branch at Holmes. The Wing Factory there on Airways and Holmes Road. Now, if I miss somebody, I'm going to be in trouble. But there's a new AutoZone on the parking lot of Southland Mall, and I'll mention the others as we continue.
Okay.
Okay.
Lot going on.
Can we talk about this race? Can we jump
We
into
sure
it?
can.
Tell us a little bit about District 3 and what that encompasses. Like, what is District 3 for City Council?
Okay, great. So I am a candidate for Memphis City Council District 3. District 3 is the east side of Elvis Presley, going east, taking in Oak Haven, Parkway Village, Fox Meadows, and of course, Hickory Hill.
Okay.
This seat is currently held by Councilwoman Patrice Robinson, and she's rolling off due to term limits. Currently, 6 other people, including myself, have pulled petitions for this race, and so it's one of the, what do they say, more contested races that's in this cycle.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's an open seat, and for some other reasons, but because it's an open seat.
Okay. So we go from being the cheerleader to wanting to be the coach. Like, what inspired you to take on that challenge?
So as being the cheerleader from Whitehaven, I decided to formalize and structure that energy, and then that's when I came up with the I Love Whitehaven 501c3.
Right.
So now I'm taking this energy to another level, my community work, so I can more directly affect policy. And I say more directly because I have been already because of different things I've been involved in, but I want to affect policy more directly. And I want to make the point that what I want for Whitehaven is what I want for all of District 3 as well as all of Memphis.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Right.
But there has to be somebody that sets the tone and begins to do that work. And I think it becomes contagious at that point. I'm seeing a lot of that happening in other pockets of Memphis. And I think at some point in the near future that it'll all connect and we'll see a better Memphis. But we need great leadership in each of these offices. And we need to make sure that we have the right people in play. That being said, like, what are some of the things that you want to see done in your first 4 years as city councilwoman?
In my first 4 years, I want to work, and so the work of the city council falls under different committees, parks and recreation, tourism. MLGW is its own committee, the budget committee, but I want to work with the communications department of the city.
Okay.
We have a good website. It's a pretty decent website. You can go on there and find information. You can sign up to receive information weekly, several emails about different things, but there is still a disconnect. This is not something that people typically campaign on, and I'm not trying to be different, but to respond to your question even prior to declaring that I was going to be a candidate. I'm always hearing, well, I didn't know. Oh, I wish I had known. Where did you find out about that?
Right.
And so I want to bridge that gap with that disconnect. I want to help to fine-tune the way the city does communications with the citizens.
Right.
And with a particular emphasis on our mature population who are not as tech savvy, who are not as connected to the internet,
Right.
where a lot of the information is being shared and disseminated. I was in one of the council meetings, and it was something, people were wanting to do something in a certain neighborhood, have yet another convenience store. And by the way, we have more of these gas station convenience stores per capita than any other city in the country. And this gentleman, he was with the city. He was, with one of the divisions, and one of the council people asked him, how did they share the information? And he said on Nextdoor. I have a membership with Nextdoor, but I don't even do Nextdoor.
Right.
And so that's just one of the many examples that I have, cited that I have experienced, and that's one of the things that I want to do.
Right. There's a lot of disconnect within the communication of our citizens and constituents, and that's a very valid point.
And that information can help us in a lot of ways in different areas of our lives, because it's employment on there and things dealing with when the city sweeper, that's a tongue twister.
I know, right.
City street sweepers.
Yes, when they come to your area, when they're spraying for mosquitoes, but just an endless number of things that apply to everyone here and there. Maybe some more so than others.
Right, and everybody deserves to know what's going on in the city. And so that should be a definite, a transparent and an easily accessible channel to get information from when it comes to our city. So that's a valid point. You also mentioned MLGNW, and I know you're big on energy and protecting the earth and doing all the great things that you've done. I've been to a couple of your seminars. Tell us more about that and how important the environment is to you.
So actually, the back piece, I share it, but I don't think it doesn't get out. It's not up front, but I'm actually the Civic Engagement Coordinator for SACE. That's the Southern Alliance for Clean Energy. Our headquarters is in Knoxville. We cover the 7 states in the southeastern region of the United States. Okay. And we promote clean, affordable, and renewable energy options. And I jokingly say that civic engagement, the old school term was networking to me, and so they call it civic engagement now. But we share information about clean, affordable, renewable energy options, and within that, we have a lot of different things that we do. We lobby. We lobby. The TVA board, Trump fired 2. The TVA board has 9 board members, and they roll off periodically. And they need 5 members to have a quorum. And in 2020, Trump fired 2 of the board members, which left them at a deficit, and they were always on the edge of not having enough members for a quorum. And so me and other members of my team, we lobbied House and Senate members to urge them to go on and approve these TVA board nominees, and they got it stacked back up as of December of 2022. So that's some of the things that we do behind the scenes. And because I'm in Memphis, and they wanted to, because we're also a TVA watchdog, but that's not all of what we do. But because Memphis is TVA's largest customer, that's why they feel the need to have a person on the ground here. But we are spread it out in those 7 states.
So y'all everywhere.
We're everywhere.
Like covert operations. Like, y'all think y'all getting away, we everywhere. You heard what Pearl said?
Yeah,
y'all everywhere. So, right now, of course, when storms happen and things like that, the citizens of Memphis get perturbed about MLGNW and their services. What do you have to say to that, and what can you do as a city council person to ensure that these blackouts and these power outages are lessened as we continue to move forward in our city, and as we continue to have thunderstorms?
Yes.
Because right now we got 100,000 people without power.
Right now.
In the heat of the summer.
And the heat. And under circumstances like this can be tragic for some of our citizens. So first and foremost, I hope that no one loses their lives due to lack of power and lack of air. But as it relates to the council, we actually have an MLGW board. We have a new director, Doug McGowan, who rolled over from the mayor's office. And so we have these outages. Some of them, a lot of them, is because we need infrastructure upgrades.
Right.
And infrastructure upgrades, they cost money. And so if I'm on the council, I want us to be able to find the money that we need to do this. So there are things in the budget already. It's not happening soon enough for us, but we need the infrastructure upgrades. And then I know that several power lines, I think it was on Germantown Parkway, kind of like a domino effect. And so that didn't deal with infrastructure upgrades necessarily, but if those lines had been underground.
Yeah, we had that discussion this morning.
Yeah, so infrastructure upgrades would would include that, and that's what we need. And like you all are business owners, everything has a cost. So sometimes you have to be creative and find the dollars. And I want to mention this, the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act, that's a piece of legislation that President Biden passed in August of last year. It went into effect January 1st of this year, and it's the largest piece of legislation dealing with the environment and energy in the history of the country. And it's something in it for everyone, the citizens, the nonprofits, the energy providers, the utilities, and the municipalities. Okay. Actually, Shelby County government, I spoke at the ribbon cutting. This was back in February, but the Shelby County government, they now have a solar array, a huge array of solar panels, and it's the largest of any municipality in the state. And so these solar panels are fueling the IT and code enforcement building at the property that's out there by Shelby Farm. So we want to look into this IRA legislation and also see what funding is available with that, as far as the infrastructure and other things too, like the electric vehicles, supporting MATA in that respect.
Great.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's a lot. But the work has to be done eventually, and so I'm hoping and I'm optimistic that this new leadership will put that at the front of the table. Because we have a lot of issues that happen, and everybody's satisfied until it happens. And so, I want to see us be more proactive instead of reactive, and
absolutely,
and so that we can curtail some of the issues that we have within our city. So, as we get ready to conclude this segment, tell the people why they should vote for Pearl Walker. Not because of the beautiful sign she has posted up everywhere, not because she does the cheerleading, but why, when it gets down to it, out of 6 people that are running for this race, and I know because I've been in a race where I ran and had 9 people, so I know the challenges and difficulties on getting it.
All right.
The incumbent was still in office, so it was a little different. You have an empty seat at this point. Why Pearl Walker?
Well, I'm going to share a few things on things you can't campaign on. Mm-hmm. I speak well, I write well, I'm published. Google me for a variety of things, and you will see the work that I have done. I was somewhere last week, and the guy, he when he was speaking about me, he used the word documented. I am documented. I will put my track record of work and being a servant leader up against anyone in this race. I can do the work. I'm familiar with the work. I can do the work. I want to be accountable. I have integrity. I'm not afraid of the hard questions. And back to the communication piece, I'm going to do periodic town hall meetings. I'm doing some on the campaign trail. I'm going to do some periodic town hall meetings. I'm going to publish a newsletter. I'm going to be about the business of keeping my constituents informed. But in the simple sentence, vote for Pearl Walker, because I can do the work.
Gotcha.
Oh, period.
I love it. It's not that you can. Sound like you're already doing it.
You've been doing it. We've seen you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes,
We've
ma'am.
seen you.
All right, y'all. Pearl Walker is here. Can you tell them all your social media handles, how people can get in contact with you if they have questions about your candidacy or if they need assistance within the community?
And how they can donate.
And
yes,
the dollar.
Get to the money.
Get to the money.
Thank you for that.
Welcome.
And also, I'm a woman, so history was made. The last election, we have 5, I think it's 5 women on the city council. Mm-hmm. And so let's replace a woman with a woman. Let's do that. But Pearl Walker, I'm on Facebook, Pearl Walker, in parentheses, Energy Equity. I'm not going to deal with the Twitter and the Instagram because we're not there as much. I'm not. Mm-hmm. I have a considerable presence on Facebook because I'm there for the campaign. I'm there for myself, and I'm there for the work that I do. Mm-hmm. Also, that's votepearlwalker.com. If you want to donate, go to Act Blue and just put in my name, Pearl Walker, and then something else will come up, and you'll know that's me. For the email, you can go to Walker group901@gmail.com. And the phone number is 901-574-7554.
Phone numbers out there now.
Okay.
Awesome.
Phone is about to start
Just a
ringing.
phone call
ring.
away.
Just a phone-
I love it.
One call, that's
Call
all.
me.
One call, that's all.
Love it.
Pearl Walker. All right, y'all. We'll be back in a second on That's the Law podcast. I'm Will.
LaTanya.
April.
All right, and thank you, Pearl Walker, for being
Thank
a
you
part
so
of our
much, Miss
show.
Walker.
Thank
being
you all
here.
so much.
Much
All right.
success
Thank
on
you.
this. You got it.
Thank
Yes,
you.
definitely.
She dropped the
you.
woman power
Please,
and everything.
please.
I'm
Donate.
loving
I
it.
know, right?
Yeah, donate, please. You heard that. Act Blue, Pearl Walker.
Money make things happen.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all. And we are back
We are back.
with That's Loud. Now we went from loud to loud because now we have a special guest. He is no stranger to the podcast. He is the one and only. I call him Vegan D, but
I thought it was Munchie.
That's
they also-
Munchie.
they also
Munchie,
call
That's
him-
Munchie.
But his alias,
Munchie.
his alias is Munchie.
Telling you.
Munchie just tell her how it is.
I love it.
That's all.
I love it.
Yeah, boy, I thought I did.
No, Will. Munchie got you beat.
Munchie
babe.
got me beat.
Munchie.
Serious?
So we'll tell her how it is just straight up.
Yeah.
Like it take me a minute. I had to sit there and
Yeah.
listen to you and figure out what's going
Willie
on.
come
so.
with no filter on it
Yeah.
instantly. Like
I'll be quiet for a
yeah,
minute. I'll be
yeah.
like, and I'll be balled up over here like, I want to say something. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
We're gonna say it.
We love you on this show.
Yeah, man.
I
Welcome back,
like
man.
being here. I really do. So.
Yeah. Well, y'all just want to jump into
Let's
this
jump
next
into
topic?
this. Yes.
Yeah, let's
Do
jump
it.
into
Because
it.
it's a topic that I
I'm
think
be in
is,
trouble.
is very essential. Let me say this. I don't think you're gonna be in trouble.
Yes, he
Man,
is.
be in trouble, man. You
Yes,
gonna get a
he
whooping?
is. Man, you gonna get it. You gonna get it.
One of the things we talk about in the podcast is just life.
Shoot.
It's
And we are-
information.
and it's information.
It's your information.
And we are trying to help and heal people
Okay.
along the way.
That's part A. Part B is
Use this advice to your discretion.
Yeah.
don't y'all do it.
Don't get hyped up and make the wrong decision too
Don't
early.
do it.
Or don't hesitate. Do what you will with it. Like I said, it's just information.
It's just information.
It's like stepping on a scale, right? You can step on the scale or not. But not stepping on the scale doesn't mean you don't weigh what you weigh.
Or if you lost or gained weight.
Right. So,
Yeah,
so
you
the
might have
only
lost.
way to find out where you stand
Step on that scale.
is to step on the scale. And right now, we are about to step on one of those scales.
Hit one of them
Yes.
sounds, Will. What kind of what you
man.
got?
Oh, Twilight, baby.
This is the segment where we talk about what is the rush on getting married
Okay.
and what are the benefits.
Oh,
Benefits. You know, benefits come with a package, like a plan that written out to say, you sign up on this job, you get 401k, you get dental, you get vision, you get paid time off.
I can't do Derek right
You
now.
might even get a hall pass on this one. Go ahead. But, so, yeah.
Woo.
So
It's finna be good.
I know that people are in the wedding season. You know,
Yeah, because we got invited to a wedding. It's
It's
at the
in
end of the
July.
month, July.
July.
Wedding bells.
Sir
But
Walter.
like, when does wedding season start? Like May, June, July?
Every day.
It's been,
Now,
basically
people get married all year
all the
long.
time.
All the time. But it used to be back in the days. It used to be summer to probably about early fall.
Early fall.
Yeah.
You didn't have a lot of winter weddings.
Now
Yeah.
folks getting married in January because they
Man.
can't wait till June, right?
Right. So,
Yeah.
right.
Right.
You know?
I got to get married.
The rush.
I got to
Right.
get married right now.
The rush.
But what is the rush? Why are we so eager and so anxious to get down the aisle? Now, I will say this. I think that there are more women that are anxious to get married than there are men. I think that men are kind of like
They come from that Ken and Barbie doll.
Ken and Barbie.
I can
doll.
agree with that. I can agree that there are more women that are saying that, hey, yeah, I'm ready to get married, or I've been married before. I think I want to do it again. I want to revisit this.
And that's too, to chime in on Tanya. That's also too, like you said, the upbringing. Women have been taught we don't mess around with multiple men. You find that one guy, you settle down, and that's who you marry. That's what we've been taught from a little girl up. Now, I guess it's a whole new.
Do you
era.
think that was the right teaching?
I just think that's what they were taught, so they taught us based on
Do
their
you
teaching.
think that was the right teaching?
I don't think it was the right teaching because I think that many times, so it's a difference from when we're coming up talking about getting married from what our parents have done.
Exactly.
It's a new era, no more than it is now with, we have daughters that are going to grow up.
Exactly.
But I would think that the mother should have been more so on, you need to date. Don't rush and get married.
Exactly.
What's the rush?
Exactly.
Yeah. Because back when our parents were getting married, the woman didn't have a lot of access to jobs.
That's true.
A lot of access to the things that women have now.
Right.
You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? And so the man was the breadwinner, and he got a job, and her job was to, stay at home and take care of the kids and make sure the house clean. But that dynamic has shifted now.
Right.
It has shifted.
Women are making more money, having better positions, and so if that changes, then the dynamic of the need to be married also changes.
So to piggyback on what Derek said, was that right? In our parents' eyes, that was, because that's what made them and their marriage and life. So now it's my job to share with my daughter that no, you don't have to, as soon as you finish high school, jump into finding one man and get married. Get yourself together, because now that's my life, and that's how I see and view things. So, like you said, each generation is different. So, what my parents or our parents taught us, no, I don't think that was wrong, because it was based on their upbringing and things of that nature.
Back in the 70s, NBA players were what we called in gym nut cutters, and they had on Converse tennis shoes. Now in 2023, you cannot wear a pair of Converse and have the ankle support that's required to be a healthy basketball player. So as the game changes, so does the equipment that you use to play the game.
All right. Okay, whoa. Let's stop.
Okay.
Because we're at a point now where we're talking about like the old days and what we are in the modern days now. So why do we have the old days? That's one way where the man's supposed to be the provider and protector. Back then, when Granddad had a house over in Hollywood, it was probably, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom?
3-bedroom.
Was 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom?
I think it was 2.
I thought it was 2.
2. Might have been 2.
2 bedrooms.
1 bath.
1 bath, 10 kids.
And grandchildren.
That stayed there.
Right.
Everybody was happy.
Everybody was happy.
His wife didn't work.
Right.
He went to work at some place down on Jackson, made his money, brought back home to the house.
Right.
Moving forward to modern day, woman is now working. The husband is working too, but he's still supposed to be the provider and protector. But it's not equal. It's still not equal. She still wants him to do this, but I'm gonna hold on to this. So
I think
how does that work?
Yeah,
because if you can't have both.
Right. I think that provision and protection are two different things in this day and time. Like providing, what I'm saying, that confidant, providing could be that security, that ear to listen to. It doesn't always have to be financial. However, a lot of women still use that tag phrase
That's true.
as a provider, which means that I'm supposed to take my money and go shopping and look good, and you take your money and pay the bills.
I don't think all women think that. I don't think all women think. I still think that it goes back into your upbringing.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Because we're sitting here talking, and I know a lot of women too that are either they have been married or they've never been married, but their upbringing was go to college, make sure you have a career, make sure you make a decent amount of money and all of these things. I think that a lot of times it's not about money, because we know people that the female makes more money than the male makes, and it still works. So we can't say that it's about money. So I don't
I have to agree
that.
with you on that, because every woman is not like that. Now, I think there are probably more women like that than not.
I was going to ask that question. So if we start saying, I don't think that's true, based upon your own opinions.
I think it's more women like that than
what
not.
percentage do you think women still believe that providing means
85.
finances?
85.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 15% of the
Especially
women.
if you bringing something to the table too. Like you don't want anybody, a guy that isn't working, isn't doing
Why not?
anything.
But why you can't help him get to where he need to be?
You probably
I've done that. It doesn't work.
Okay.
Cheers.
I drink to that.
I'm just saying, like, I think that you should be even.
But April isn't in that 80%.
No, April's not. April's in the 15.
She ain't in that 80 percentile, but it happens.
It happens.
Yep, it happens. But what I'm saying is that you have to examine before you get married. So that's why I'm saying, what's the rush? Take the time to examine, because that's a huge obstacle, a huge hurdle.
Gotta agree with that.
To overcome. After you say I do, then you want to look at finances.
No, it's too late.
It's too late.
It's too late.
It's too late.
You gotta
win the
look at that
game.
in the beginning.
So the first thing we have to find out is, how do you spend the money that you obtain, right?
When does that conversation come into place? When
I
you
think-
decide when you're ready to get to a place of marrying that person, or is that conversation while you're dating?
I think you should sit back and watch, because people will tell you anything.
That's
Right.
true.
But patterns do
Yes.
not change.
Come
That's
on.
correct.
That's
So
true.
you have to look at the pattern of the person. When they get paid on Friday, what do they do with their money?
Okay.
Do they go shopping? Do they go ball out? Do they go to clubs? Do they go to parties? Do they just kick it? And then they kind of like slow down toward the 10th or 11th day of the week because they know their payday is on the way. Then they don't know how to manage their money. You got to look at all these things. A person can tell you, "Oh, I saved my money,
Right.
and I've got."
You wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know. How would you know?
Right.
You wouldn't
You
know.
wouldn't know. So I think that that's important. And then I think it also comes down to, like, how do we split the bills? Like, that's something to talk about.
That's very
You know what I'm
important.
saying? But you can find that out when you move in with that person. Now, back in the day, they say you shouldn't
Shouldn't
move in, you shouldn't be shacking.
Yeah, that's what they say.
But things have changed now. Like, I need to know how you're going to conduct yourself. We move in together, and I'm paying the rent, and you know. When does the rent fall on? Anybody?
Man, it depends. You know,
First
if
and
you're
fifth.
renting the
First
first
and
and
fifth.
fifth,
If you got a mortgage-
if you got a mortgage, it's first and 15th.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Okay. During that time, you
I
know
pay on the
that you
15th.
you do know.
I pay right on the 15th.
Right.
I had
Right.
no-
Wait a minute,
wait.
Right.
I want to stretch that dollar.
Stretch
Stay focused.
Yeah, that's how you stay balling, baby. Stay
Okay,
balling.
keep focused.
Stay
Go
balling.
ahead,
Stay focused. Hey, go ahead.
But during that 1st through the 15th, the person that is cohabitating with you has to have some cognitive idea or thought process that
Their rent.
says there's a payment due. Now,
Correct.
if this person sits back and does not offer to give you half,
I'm sending my half now. Hold on. 26.
You can't be sitting at nobody's house and not pay rent.
I'm
You
late.
can't
I'm late.
men
can't do that.
It's okay.
but men will
Better
do
late
that.
than never.
But men will do that.
Men will do that.
Men will do that, which sets the tone that that man has it covered, right? It only becomes a problem when his pockets get tight, and then he wants to bolster about you not carrying your weight in the relationship. So to avoid that argument, there needs to be an understanding that the mortgage is due on the 15th. The mortgage is $5,000 a month. Where is $5,000 a month. Bare minimum. Where is the $2,500?
I just paid mine.
Okay, cool. See, and
But no, I understand exactly what you're saying. But what if the man? Okay, what if the man?
cigar good.
What if the man volunteers, say, like, you know what? Hey,
I
babe,
think that's where the conversations come
Exactly.
in
I
at,
wanna
because
take care of-
everybody is not about half. Where's
Right.
your half?
'Cause-
You got the half. Where your half?
But if you got some
Let me
guys
punch you real
that'll
quick.
Some
be,
guys is like, hey,
I got the house. You take care
You
of the
ta-
light bill,
But
Boom.
the internet.
Hold on.
Yeah.
it just
That-
depends on where you are.
So we're gonna talk about these simps. We're gonna talk
That
about these
doesn't make
simps.
him a simp.
Yeah, he a
Derek,
simp.
do
He a simp. He a
it?
simp. He a simp.
Oh, wow.
So let's talk about this right here. Women wanted all the rights to vote, be able to have equal
He
employment.
come with that.
I'm just saying, they wanted all those rights. There was a point in time, and I hate to say this, but in U.S. history, it showed that a man could hit a woman with something as long as his forearm in his hand. That day is gone.
Right.
So, and I agree with that. I got two girls. I might have hit my daughter with nothing longer than they pinky finger if they had it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. But we got all the rights. And now it's still, the pressure is still on the man to be able to be the provider and the protector. And the woman can go do whatever she want to do. And the guy don't want nothing but to be simple. he just want a cigar, some whiskey.
But let me ask you this question.
Okay,
I'm
let
sorry.
me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
He want a cigar and some whiskey and just come home and chill.
Okay.
You come home watching all your shows. He got to be kind of like, like this. Shh, don't say nothing because you watching the show. Come on in, dog. Come on to the patio. We gonna smoke cigars over here. Hey, baby, how you doing? All right, baby. You look so pretty. All right. And it's like, when is it equal or is it not equal? Is it just this elaborate, beautiful, everything that we got is just all for you from your show,
right?
And for me to make you happy and my happiness. Because I'm sure y'all talked about it last week on Father's Day and how Father's Day and Mother's Day and everything else. The man always get the leftovers, but he supposed to be the provider and protector. If you're gonna be the provider and protector, you supposed to be top of the goddamn food chain.
What make you feel like it's the leftovers?
Because here's the thing: in the Lion Kingdom, the lion. Well, first of all, the women go out and hunt. They go out and hunt.
You saw that. You saw that in St. Kitts,
right.
where the male bird sat with the nest, and the women went out and got the food and brought it back to the damn men birds.
But the lion eats first,
right?
And then what's left over, the lioness and the cubs get to eat. Because he's the protector. Like, nobody gonna come in there and penetrate their fortress.
Right.
So at the end of the day, he has to eat and be satisfied and have enough energy to do that. Now, let's translate that into today's time.
Yeah, let's do it.
Like, you have to make sure you find a spouse that keeps you at peace, keeps your mind clear. Because that's food. That gives me energy to provide protection for my wife.
Yes.
So if you're not doing that, then we got to disconnect because I'm going to leave the house frustrated. I might make a mistake in my job out of frustration and lose my job. Therefore, I lose the protection.
Right.
A lot of men do that.
Right.
But those are things that you have to wait before you get married. That's why you shouldn't be rushing into marriage. I got to know if you're able to provide me peace within my home.
Let me stop you.
Okay, correct.
And that's true. I hear what you're saying, Derek. You're wrapping it in that you feel because you're giving the money, she should be matching. But her portion and, I guess, contributing to it, like Will said, it's that peace, it's that balance, it's that nurturing. It's you're looking at, well, she ain't bringing the money. Well, if she doing that, you want her to still provide the peace, the nurturing, and the money.
I'm just saying, I'm not so much it's me.
No, I'm just he said don't do that. But what we ain't gonna do. But that's what you're saying. So I think that everybody has a role. No role is bigger than the next.
So what if you're not getting the piece?
Well, then you got the wrong woman.
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta find it. It's gotta match all the check boxes. We're not saying
it's gotta match.
Not to cut you off, April, but you have to find that mate for you.
Right.
Because you're the only.
You think any man would be sitting behind anywhere in America saying, I provide and she provide me peace, but I'm happy.
And then here's my question too. What sense would it make for any man? Because the man proposes. Right. We don't have anything to do with it.
Right.
So if you see all of these flaws,
some women do
men,
flaws.
if you see all of these things going on, why would you go and buy a ring and put a ring on it and you know it's a problem? You're in control on this relationship being solidified.
That's what we talk about.
So if you jumping into it,
you okay with it.
You
okay with it.
But you have to find someone that's okay with what you got going on.
Can I talk? All right. So it's got to be a problem somewhere because so many men do it. I don't know if they just simps or whatever the case may be. Because they got to be a simp because I'm going to tell you why they got to be a simp. Because women can lay it down so good and like Isaac Hayes said, Cupid can shoot his arrow so fast, sometimes you can't get out the way. And they be like, well, man, I hope she'll see it one day. So, and see. And if they're not seeing it, then that's where the frustration come in there because you probably have vocalized that, hey, this is how I feel or express how you felt about the situation. And
nothing changes.
Nothing changes.
But that happens because we rush into situations. Just because Cupid shoots you with an arrow in your heart doesn't mean that in 6 months we got to walk down the aisle. Now that I'm infatuated with you, now that I'm in love with you, I need a period of time to be able of courtship
courtship
to see who you are. And you cannot see who a person is in my personal constitution within 6 months, within a year, or a year and a half. Now 2-year mark, you have probably seen all the circumstances.
Amen.
You've seen the highs, you've seen the lows, you've seen money, you've seen it be a lack of, you've seen, opportunities, you've seen
the frustration,
the frustrations, everything.
Yeah.
And at that point, that's when you make a decision on if this person is the suitable helpmate for you to travel on this journey called life.
Yep.
The problem is that we get caught up. Men, you asked the question. You said men go through all that and then get upset at the end. Well, that's because despite everything that woman, that helper showed you in the beginning, you went along with it.
You chose to ignore it.
And it kept building up and building up and building up. But now there's a clause within the situation. You have walked down the aisle, you said I do, and you did not have a prenup. Now, when you tell this woman, hey, I'm sick and tired of you, it's time for you to roll, I don't want to be here anymore, you have to waver. Is it worth cutting? Is the loss? What does the loss look like in this?
So did you sign a prenup?
I think that if you make a certain amount of money and have a certain level of success, you should protect your interests. You worked hard for, you have done this without that person. Absolutely. I am pro prenup.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, the difference is that when Tanya and I met, we were both at ground zero.
Okay.
So we couldn't afford a lawyer to even do a prenup at that time. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But so now if we go our separate ways, then I'm do half, she do half, because we built the empire together. Yeah. But I'm talking about people out there that are successful in getting married. You have to protect the work that you've done.
And then just to go back a little bit too, this goes back to what we talked about last week when we talked about the potential. Because there are so many things, men and women, we both do it, or we have done it. They got the potential. If they would just do this,
the potential,
man, it'll be straight.
Yep.
If this guy would just do this one thing,
man, we'll be straight.
Man, he almost there. I'ma stick.
But guess what? He can't.
He can't.
Not gonna.
He don't have the capacity.
He doesn't have the capacity.
Can't.
He's not possible of doing that. And so Derek said the same thing. You like, man, if the person would just understand, I'm doing all this. That person doesn't see that off the rip. Then it's time to like really look at things from a different perspective.
So we have a problem with detaching.
So
when we get attached, we don't want to detach because we feel like we invested so much time and I've done this here with this person. This person knows this about me. I know that about them. We didn't share this, we shared that.
Yep.
But man, you have to detach.
Share it with somebody else.
So now that we
get somebody else to do it.
Get
somebody else to do it.
So
those are all excuses.
Yes.
Okay.
To stay in a broken situation.
Absolutely.
So now that we have talked about what's the rush.
We ain't done talking about the rush because people still are rushing to get married.
But we got to talk about the benefits.
How long should you be with somebody before you decide whether or not to even entertain engagement?
2 years.
But
2 years.
But we also got to talk about what the benefit is at some
point.
Right.
Right. We're gonna get there.
Okay.
We're gonna get there.
All right.
We're gonna get there
All right.
because we trying to talk about the courtship piece. In this courtship piece, we need to start seeing and analyzing and really taking inventory on who the person that you are considering spending the rest of your life with.
Right.
Supposedly spend the rest of your life.
You're supposed to
You're
be.
supposed to.
You better go in
Nobody
with
going
no
in.
exit.
Yeah,
You
you
go
ain't
in
going
with that
in with just like,
mindset.
oh man.
No exit plans.
No
Right.
exit plans,
Yeah,
right?
I'm just saying. But,
Right.
exit plans happen.
No exit plans.
But you have to be able to carry your weight, right? So it's like the NBA. This is a good analogy here. Like NBA players, right? It's only 15 players on the team. And all of them have a set of skills that are supposed to contribute and carry weight to a championship. Now, some players never played at all. And you got players in the NBA right now that have a championship ring on their finger, whether it's the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, up to modern day time, to the Denver Nuggets. There are some players who never played in the finals who have a ring. Do you think that the other starters and the other people who contributed value them the same?
Nope.
They don't. But that guy is going somewhere right now with a NBA ring on, and he never touched the ball in the finals. That's what happens in a lot of marriages. A lot of women out here wearing this hardware. A lot of men are wearing hardware and have never done anything that contributed to the wedding, to the marriage.
Yeah.
And so at that point,
even to the wedding.
To the wedding or anything. But at that point, the general manager begins to make this. The general manager makes decisions and says, hey, this person here is not an asset. And they cut them off. Now, there's a contractual agreement within that, and they have to make arrangements to do the contract. And that's like divorce, right? You know, Marcus Smart just got divorced from the Boston Celtics, but then the Grizzlies said, hey, we think that you will be a good fit for us. So they married him, right?
Right.
My point is that sometimes the two of you don't mesh, but then it might be a good fit for somebody else. But at some point in your life, you have to make that sound decision that says, it's time for us to cut our losses.
Yeah.
But it's best to cut the losses at the G League than it is in the pros. G League don't cost you nothing. Hey, bro. Hey, man, pack your bags, man. You headed back home. Good luck to you. Wish you all the luck in the world.
Open your locker up and you got that red tag in there.
You got that red tag in there. You gone. But when you go to the NBA and you sign that contract, when you sign that marriage certificate, then there are stipulations that have to occur in order for me to be traded.
I got a question.
So keep your spouse, keep your loved one, your girlfriend or boyfriend in the G League for as long as you can until you are for sure that they can win a championship.
I got a question. I got a question. What about the older, I'm talking about my ladies, what about the seasoned ladies that say, I don't have a lot, I ain't got 2 years.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
I ain't got 2 years.
God ain't wrote down the script and said you're going to die in 2025 or 26. Yeah, you do.
You got time.
You got time.
Because here's the thing, though.
Yeah, you got time.
So you're saying to jump into a situation.
What's that?
I don't think it takes you as long to jump in.
No, it should not.
So you might not need 2 years.
Might not need the 2 years.
No, you need them 2 years.
Might not need the
Man.
2
Man.
years.
But y'all,
Might not need.
but
3 months to 6 months, and they have been together 20 years.
everybody.
Yeah, it's always one of those.
Yeah,
Somebody,
it's gonna be.
look,
Hey.
hey, somebody hit the
God
lottery
bless
last week, but ain't gonna happen to nobody in this room tonight.
Yeah, God bless.
You know what? I think that there's no manual to it.
No.
I think it's
No.
just what it is. Work with.
I just-
yes, for both parties.
But what
Both
I'm saying,
parties,
but what
man.
I'm saying is, women. So if you're past 40 years old,
Just say 50. Say
especially
50.
40.
especially 50.
40.
Just say 50.
50.
Most of the time when women
Yeah.
say I ain't got that much time, they talking about children.
No,
Yeah,
Will,
yeah.
Will, you're not a woman.
No,
that
no,
is
they
not
ain't.
true.
No, they ain't. It's
No,
about,
they
it's
ain't
about time
talking
to get
about no
married.
children.
Wait,
It's about time.
It's about 50 years old, you're not talking about children.
That's what I'm
It's about
saying.
time to get married.
Yeah,
Wasting
it's
time.
companionship.
Wasting
It's
time.
being with someone.
Man,
You're 50.
Wait a minute, Will. Wasting time. We together. So we trying to figure everything else out. So even if we're 50, because I'm 40, I'll be 42 this year, Lois will.
Okay.
And, now, see, you feel that way, but I feel like 40 at 40, you're like, okay, I want something serious. Or you should if you don't. I want something serious. There's no need for a rush. Even if I was 50, there would be no need for a rush. Even if we're married 10 years, we get married. Hold on, we get married at 50. I leave here at 60. That's 10 years of marriage. 10 years of good companionship. I don't know if we busting nuts, but good years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what's the difference between that and 12?
And 12 or 15, because we married at 45.
We're not talking about death, we're not talking about children.
Right.
We talking about time being wasted. If you know I'm the one and I know you're the one, then what are we waiting on?
No, I don't know if you're the one, because we need time to know that.
But it depends on those two people who are together. I'm not finna stay with you for no 5 years and you ain't made no serious commitment to me.
I believe you would. I believe you would.
The 5 years.
I
That's too long.
believe
That's
you
too
would.
much.
That's too long.
How long is too long?
That's too long.
How long
5
is too
years.
long?
I believe you would.
No.
I believe you would.
5 years with no commitment.
I believe you would.
Wow.
What's commitment?
Man knows whether or not this is who he really wants.
I agree with that too, though.
Commitment meaning marriage.
that-
Like it
that
shouldn't
has-
take you 5 years
Okay.
to get engaged. It shouldn't take you 5
Okay,
years.
so there have been times where I felt like in the 6 months time, this was the woman I wanted.
Right.
And on that 6.5 month, I was like, whoa,
It's a red flag.
let me slow down. And then it took a year. And then a year came, and I'm like, all right, I'm going down here about, whoa, fuck that come from? Mm-hmm. Then I was like, okay, we a year and a couple of months. Oh, the fuck? Where'd that come from?
Right.
You know, so women, I will say this, women set their own selves back. Cause y'all just said this right here. Y'all just said, a man know. He does know. I put that on everything. A man knows whether he want to marry a woman within 6 months to a year. And then he starts to notice other stuff. So you better marry that man in that 5th month. Because anything outside that 6 month, he gonna start seeing little certain things about you that he didn't know that was there. I'm telling you now.
I think that
because if it
That has been your
it-
have
it-
that ever been your experience, or that's someone that you know?
man, both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because when you get to that point, you start to be like, damn, you know, like, okay, I was there. And I've said that in my relationship. I'm in a relationship now.
Yeah.
And I've said that, like, hey, I was right there. Mm-hmm. Had everything, like, planned in my mind. Like, I'm going to go down here and get the ring. And then it's like, whoa.
Okay. So then the question is, what makes you stay? Do you think that is going to...
According to Tina and other women in this room, sorry.
He called
No
names.
Give them a little more time, you know?
Give them a little more time.
Yeah,
But
but
that's
not too much
wasted.
time.
But that's time wasted, right?
But not too much time.
Right.
Not too much time, because they ain't gonna wait 3-5 years.
Hell no.
Which I believe they will.
Not in our age now.
No, not at this age.
Man,
Not in no
when you going to
40s.
the
I'm
senior living
sorry.
facility, when you going?
I'm
You
not
gonna be in the
waiting
senior-
in no 40s.
Okay, don't wait. Don't wait.
No.
Don't wait.
Because
No.
Not now, I wouldn't.
Okay,
Right.
don't wait.
In my
You die
20s
alone.
in my
Like Kevin
20s
Samuels said,
in my
you'll die
20s
alone, you'll have a dog,
Not
and
now.
you'll die alone.
I disagree,
And
Derek.
you,
And that's perfectly fine, too.
I disagree.
I said that
I
too.
disagree.
I've said that women have gotten to the point where they're okay with dying alone with a dog
Right.
and their kids or that they done had in the
Right.
past, or they grown now,
Right.
and they okay with that.
Well, I think-
Because if that was the case, you would have more married women in this room saying, "I'm married. This didn't happen to me."
Right. It's
No.
not that because
That's not it.
Hold on.
because
Get married or not.
Big-
Tina said it earlier. Tina said it earlier.
Thank you.
Hey,
okay.
Mochi.
Okay,
Gonna bring it.
but the thing about it is, Derek, like I always have said, and I told you, everybody's story is different. What works for you might not work for the next, and what might not work for you might work for the other. So there's no right or wrong in the dating
There's
process.
some wrong in here somewhere
No.
because
I think equally that it's
Hold on, Munchie. I gave you your time.
Okay.
Give me mine right quick.
Okay, I will.
There's a handbook, but at the end of the day, I might meet a guy and I might say in my mind, man, I need at least 2 years to get to know this dude. But he might come in and show me and give me everything that I've been praying and asking God for, all within a 6 months time.
Okay.
I'm open to that. Now,
Okay.
keep in mind, my mind said, man, I need time to know this dude. We got to go through this. We got to go through that. But there's really no timeline like
no timeline.
where I got to say, man, it's got to be 3-4 years before I know. Because still, even when you get married to a person, you're still going to see things.
Absolutely.
Because you're two different people trying to make
as being married,
Right.
Will and I have been together 15 years. I can tell you that Will is not the same person that he
Exactly.
was 15 years
Okay.
ago.
Exactly.
All right.
And he wasn't bad then, but I'm just saying with time.
I wanna
Because
say this.
people evolve. I never
wanna
would have thought he would have been in politics. I never would have thought
Man.
a lot of things.
I want to say
So
this
you
though.
change.
I want to say this though, and you right, but I do want to say this. There are 3 men in this building, compared to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 women in here. How many of y'all married?
I've been have been married.
I didn't ask that.
We're not married.
I'm
so
married.
only 1 woman.
Right.
How many men in this room are married? 2 out of 3.
Right.
Fabian, And you.
Tanya's point right
That's all I'm saying.
But
you just proved it.
But
I didn't prove anything. What I proved was with that theory of women having their mind like, man, got to marry me in this amount of time here and this time here.
Nobody's saying it. We're just saying you don't need 3 or 4 or 5 years.
You do need that.
You said a woman would wait 5 years. They're saying that no.
She will wait.
Not in a certain age bracket.
Okay.
They're not.
All right.
They're not.
Okay.
My grandfather and grandmother had been married for 47 years.
Okay.
Right.
My grandmother said she found out who my granddaddy really was that last year.
Yeah, you don't know a person.
You don't know who people truly
Ah,
are.
okay.
People will put on.
That's right.
Mom and dad are two.
So why do it? So why do
That's the
it?
reason why I need to have an incubator page because you have to be able to at least see and diagnose whether or not I can deal with this person's characteristics.
That's
right?
it. That's it.
True.
I need that time to dictate whether or not I'm willing to pour in and give this person my all, because we all have flaws. Now,
Absolutely.
now, the key to marriage is finding somebody that you're compatible with, that can accept your flaws.
Right.
Now,
Your good and your bad.
but during that time, like even in trial, they go 3-4 days, 5 days, 2 weeks in trial, because they've got to see every aspect of the situation before they determine whether this person is guilty or not.
Right.
And it's the same thing with dating. And I just think that if you're speed dating, which what that is, oh, this guy here, he does this, he does this, he does this, that's my guy. And he looking at it like, okay, you know what I'm saying, I'm getting up in age, it's time to get married. But what is the benefit of being married?
That's what we got to get to.
Whether you do it in 6 months or you do it 2 years from now, what's the difference?
Yeah.
It's no different.
We're gonna be together, but what is it about the ring and the ceremony that supersedes knowing that this person is gonna be with you for the rest of your life? I think that is more important than walking down the aisle, taking pictures, and having a beautiful reception,
Of course.
Right.
and then being done in 18 months or 2 years.
Right.
You can't stand anybody.
Right.
So I say, take your time. Doesn't matter the age. Like I said, I think that when women said my clock ticking, I need to get married, I'm
That's
still
like-
putting that towards
You're
children.
looking at like
At birth.
30.
Birth.
Like if somebody's 30 and they looking to have kids, we're talking about seasoned.
Because at this age where I'm
Seasoned
at,
women.
43, I know what I want and I know what I don't want. So there's no time for me to waste with you for 2 to 3 years knowing that I want a certain caliber, I guess.
You ain't
of
even
a
gotta
man.
waste your time
I don't even
that
have to waste
long.
for that. And he ain't got to waste his time with me.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We can both depart and go, and I can meet that man.
But in order for that mindset to diminish, he would have to put a ring on your finger.
Man, within 6 months to a year.
Right, he would have to.
He would have to.
Because you saying you know what you want, you know the caliber of man you want. This guy's in front of you that is you've seen for 3 months, 6 months.
Right, and he's already giving me red flags.
But
No red flag. No red flag.
Oh, that's different.
Well, he had proposed to you.
But he had proposed to you.
No, that's 3 or 6 months is fine.
Okay, what about a year? He had proposed to you.
Yeah, a year is fine.
2 years he had
2
proposed
years
to
is
you.
good.
3 years he proposed
3
to you.
years, hell no.
Then what do you say?
What I say,
Yeah.
it's
We
been
ain't on the
nice.
same page.
We not on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yep,
okay.
it's okay.
I'm
You
not
don't
gonna
have
play
to. You don't have
house
to.
with you
Right.
and be giving you all of the
Yep.
wifey
I'm telling
experience,
you.
and you won't wifey me. No.
Yeah. No, don't do
Do
it.
that with somebody else. You remember y'all got 14 and 1, right?
Right. You
Get the
can
other
find
13
somebody
do it.
else to do
I
it.
think that
Get them to
every
do it.
relationship should see going into a storm,
Right.
being in a storm, and coming out of a storm.
Right.
When they decide they want to.
Right. I give you all that for 4 years, and then you leave me and marry somebody in 6. Fuck no. So that's my energy on it.
Yep.
We're not doing it because I've given you everything and lined up everything for you, and then you say, "Well, I ain't ready," but then I leave, and then or you leave me because I'm telling you, "Well, look, hey, I'm out." Then 6 months later, you got a whole woman that you now ready to wife because
Gonna get
hell,
married and
I
put it on
have-
Facebook.
I have built you up, nurtured you, given you everything a wife's
Go on,
supposed to
preach,
give,
April. Go on,
and now
preach,
you want
April.
to tell me you married in 6 months? Fuck you.
Yeah,
No, No,
Mother
we're
Goose
not
in the
doing it.
building.
We're not
Mother
doing
Goose
it.
in the
That's
building.
right.
So
That's right,
we're
though.
not doing
That's
it.
right.
But that's not right.
That's
so
right.
y'all asked the question.
That's it.
Why we feel that we need to rush? Because hell, by the time 3 or 4 years get here, the next person you're gonna be ready. Because you're gonna be so used to the commitment of that person being there. The next one you get with, you're gonna make sure you don't lose.
Sure will. Sure will.
Hey,
done.
hey, man, take a break. I think we take a break on this motherfucker. Right, take a break on this motherfucker. Yeah, let's take a break.
But is it? But can you say that maybe those two people were destined for each other? And
Man, I'm going.
It's very it could have.
It could very be
Could
so.
have.
It could be very be so. But I would feel that I've wasted my 4 years
Right.
of someone that say that they love me. I got everything that you want, but you're not quite ready. But then when I leave, you're like, oh, but because you know why they're yours? Because hell, you didn't got everything that you need to put you in that position for marriage. And now you like, this person come along, she kind of gives me the qualities of what I had with April.
So let me go. I ain't gonna let this
one here
train
go.
I ain't
So
gonna
let
let
me
this
go
train
ahead and
go.
lock that
But
in.
to be honest, the woman that he marries within 6 months was already on the scene while he was with you.
No, I don't know about
Yes
that.
and
I don't
no.
know.
Yes and no.
Nope, I came back. I thought I was gone, but I came back. No, ain't no way. So he can meet somebody. He can meet somebody right then and you know develop a friendship.
Yeah.
And he's still talking to you, but it doesn't mean that he already knew her. It doesn't.
I agree.
It doesn't.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think that's why women.
Just like you standing firm in your 45 years, she got the right.
She got the right. Absolutely.
Right, I mean,
Absolutely.
we good with
Absolutely.
that. What you thinking, man? You ought to rub your chin, man. Come on. Are we gonna talk about something else, or we gonna stay right here?
No, I'm just saying.
Since you brought it up, she didn't want no children, right? The girl on the talk or whatever. Remember, she said she didn't want no kids from her first husband, but she got what's his name?
Jeezy.
Young Jeezy, and wanted a baby. And had
Yeah,
a baby.
she did.
It just depends
I think
on
it's
who you're
about.
with and what
I think
path
it's
that
about.
you're
I
on
think it's
this side
about.
of your life.
I think it's about ultimate compatibility.
That's true.
You know what I'm
agree
saying?
with you.
That's true.
And sometimes you could be with a person.
That's true.
But you like, you know what I'm saying? This cool, but this ain't what I envisioned
Right.
as my wife.
That's true.
So that's the reason why I hadn't proposed to her and everything. Now, that woman at any given time has the right to demand the potential of her legacy and saying, I want to be married.
Right.
And that guy has the right to say, I'm not ready for that.
right.
That's it.
That woman at that time has the right to say, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? No more than a man that's being pressured, because that's pressure.
Right.
When a woman says, well, what we doing? I want to be married. If you ain't married me in the next 6 months, I'm out of here. He may feel pressured and
Right.
go buy a ring, not really wanting to be with.
Right. Now he just doing it
Right.
just
And I
to
think,
appease her.
and so what I'm saying, I think I'm thinking that the ultimate waste of time is the fact that I put a ring on your finger
Right.
to shut your mouth up,
Right.
to
Yeah.
walk down the aisle
Right.
so that you can skin and grin in front of your family,
Right.
only for 18 months from now,
Yeah.
be like,
We
done.
gonna be divorced
Preach it,
anyway.
preach it,
That's
preach
true.
it.
We
That's
done.
true.
That's
Preach
it.
it.
That's it.
That's true.
That's
You
it.
can't
Will.
reach him if you can't teach
Right.
him.
But the man shouldn't do it if that's not what he wants. Period.
No, you kept running your mouth. You kept bugging me
Right.
about being married.
But it
So
ain't-
here,
but it ain't-
if this gonna shut
it
you
ain't-
up, here's a ring.
But it ain't even about
Wow,
that.
man.
You should be.
I wouldn't
you
even
should
want
be
it.
man enough to.
No, he ain't gonna do it like that though. He ain't gonna do it like that.
Yes.
He gonna get down on one knee
He's
and
gonna
say,
do all that right
But-
there.
but
But in the
You
back of his
saying
mind,
Derek, he gonna do it with a smile.
yeah.
He
But
gonna
I
do
wish
it
I could pay him
but
to
why-
with a smile.
in the back of his
He
mind.
gonna do it. He gonna say,
How you gonna do it? How you gonna do it?
"Hey, baby, I know it's been a long time, and
That's all women want. Go on, run it, Derek. Go on, run it. Marsha.
Run it up, man.
Run it up,
He's praying to God right now." I got this for you.
Oh my God! You
It
didn't have to
ain't
do
much, but it's everything that I got. And when she reach her hand that mug, clap her fingers down. Say, "No, you ain't getting that mug."
But you know what? My thing is, it shouldn't be pressured. If he don't want to marry her, he shouldn't get the ring and do it. That's not her fault.
That's
on
why
you.
I haven't done it. It's been 3
don't have to
years.
do
and I
it,
hadn't
man.
done it.
Right. So at that time,
But you got some men that's like, hey, I don't care that you want to get married. I'm not getting married. So
Right.
whatever that means,
Right.
you got some men ain't gonna go.
That's
I
it.
ain't going down the aisle.
Right.
Then the ball is in the woman's court to say, hey,
I'm out.
I'm out.
Let me ask this question here because everybody in this room.
You gotta be grown.
Let me ask you this question because everybody in this room minus one person is over the age of 40. All right.
Yeah.
At some point, is marriage off the table?
One person.
Yes, one person.
One person.
One person.
Okay.
It's not over 40.
Everybody
But
else over 40.
at what point does it go from the desire to be married to the desire to have somebody that's in your corner for the rest of your life? Like, does it ever end where you're like 50, 55, 60, and you say, I don't want to be married. I just want to this guy is good.
Like have a companion?
Kind of like Oprah and Steph.
Like a companion.
I'm going to be real with y'all.
70, she's like the end of her 70. Well, going into the end of
I'm talking about our age, 45.
Okay.
You saying 45, 50.
So,
she had a boyfriend.
Okay.
She's had this boyfriend for 15 years.
Okay.
Her thing is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Okay.
Be good,
Right.
have
And
it.
that's a good thing. We're in the home health care field where we take care of the elderly and disabled.
Okay.
WR Community Service, shout out.
Right.
There are times in my mind at almost 42, I'm like, I'm okay with going to a senior living facility and just being there playing bingo.
I know a woman. At the,
Dear, what you say?
I know a woman.
Hey,
at the
man, I'll be
speakeasy.
down in a minute, man. I'm finna.
Yeah.
Hey, I
I
got
know
my
that.
last round of bingo, man. I'm coming out, catch
said
my
that.
Uber. You said that. I'm gonna catch my Uber and meet y'all down there.
I'm with y'all down
I
there.
know a woman at
I'm
the
okay with
speakeasy.
that.
I know a woman at the speakeasy. She's got to be.
I look forward to that.
She gotta be 50.
in my life, I'm looking forward to that.
Right. She's got to be 50. And she says that she don't think she's going to get married and that she okay. She already got her nursing home policy and everything set up. Did it right there.
Yeah.
But,
She already
What's
got set
wrong with
up.
that?
But-
people act like that's
Hey, man,
something
just
crazy
hey, man.
about that.
but in the business that we're in, we go to like these nursing facilities, assisted living facilities, and to check on things.
Yeah.
And we see Mr. Jones in 207 that's been dating Miss Johnson in 209 for the last 10 years at the facility. They're not gonna ever get married, but it's understood that me and her we go to
We got a
the
companionship.
movies, we go to the
Man, when you
zoo,
70
go to
years
the
old,
companionship.
it don't matter by that time. You just like we got each other.
So-
I mean,
so-
But what? So if it don't matter
Man,
then.
because
why does
40,
it matter
40
now?
you still fucking.
Okay.
You don't
You don't think Mr.
Yeah,
Jones banging?
Mr. Jones might not
70-year-old
be.
women ain't fucking.
Mr. Jones might not
they
be.
not.
Okay,
They not.
so-
No, I think the 70-year-old women, but I don't know about the men.
Whoa. I gotta throw my hands up. So, at what point do we stop fucking?
Tell you what I know.
I don't know. It depends on the person's sex
So
drive.
It's
they
your sex
fucking out
drive.
there at them senior living
But
facilities.
he can't last as long as she.
She probably can't.
Man, don't stop. Can't stay wet.
Y'all is wrong.
Can't stay wet.
Ooh, man.
All right.
Hey,
Listen,
underdog,
listen,
underdog,
listen.
underdog. Get some
Cut it
order,
out, man.
underdog.
Cut it out, man.
Get some order, underdog.
Cut it
Listen.
out.
I am still asking for your vote. So I'm not gonna go that far into it. But this has been a great podcast.
Yes, it has.
We will have to have a part 2 because
Yes.
now we have to talk
Derek,
about
you have to come
what
back
are the
next
I don't
week.
know. I might be tied down.
Yeah. Now he might be on lockdown. He might be on lockdown after
He
this
might be
year.
married.
It might be
You might be married by then.
And married.
And married.
Ain't
Derek
nothing
going to
wrong
buy a
with
ring
getting
when he
married.
leave here.
Hey,
nothing wrong with getting married.
I'm going to give me one.
You dictate that, Derek, on whether or not it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But a woman dictates sex,
Yes.
a man dictates commitment.
That's
There
it.
you go.
And so that's what we have to leave with today. We are not out of
Jesus.
information, but definitely out of time.
Yes.
I am Will the Underdog Richardson.
And I am your girl, April. I'm out of Mother Goose. I'm out of it.
And I am Munchie, the one and only. Give me a little bit of drink, and I'll let you know the truth.
And last
some applause behind
last
that.
but
Give
not
some
least,
applause.
it's your girl, the lovely LaTanya.
Yeah, go home.
All right, y'all. We'll catch y'all next week where we're going to talk
Peace out.
about the benefits of being married.
The benefits, baby, because it's some benefits.
It is some benefits. Yes.
Ain't no damn benefits.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
let's go.
Make sure y'all follow us on all y'all social medias. That's Louder Podcast.
No damn benefits.
See y'all next week.
Peace.
This is the Spotlight Podcast Network.